So after a lot of speculation, we finally got a trailer for Dexter Resurrection, and I honestly don't even know really how to react to it, because it's just so tonally weird. I wanted to react to it a while ago, but I actually lost my SD card, had to get a new one. So now we're back, we're recording, and my god, it is so tonally weird. Now, Dexter's always been funny, it's always been darkly comedic, there's been a lot of jokes, a lot of funny moments in the original Dexter series, and in even New Blood. That's kind of just the nature of it. A lot of like dramatic irony, a lot of funny moments where we know what Dexter does, but a lot of people make kind of ironic comments where it's like it pertains to Dexter, but they don't know it, stuff like that. But this feels like it's going into like weirdly MCU territory. I don't know, I'm kind of in for it, but at the same time, it's like, I'm a little nervous they're going to go too far with the humor of it. Now, overall, it seems like it's going to be a very entertaining show, and we are getting some of the stuff that I really wanted out of New Blood, some of the stuff that I was left hanging on, disappointed by. The trailer straight up opens up with the Dexter and Batista reunion, and I think that's going to cause for some great drama. But there's some other stuff that I'm like not too sure about. I mean, like Peter Dinklage assembling the Avengers of serial killers, that might be a little bit a bridge too far, but I could see it also being very cool. And the thing is, my whole nervousness was how were you going to integrate this giant cast of pretty high up actors, Neil Patrick Harris, Uma Thurman, Kristen Ritter, and it seems like it is actually in a way that makes sense. I think the idea that they're all serial killers assembled together makes it for a reason that actually makes sense, rather than they all are kind of random characters, they all do different things, they all serve different purposes in the story. The fact that they're all serial killers assembled together by Peter Dinklage makes it make a lot more sense, actually. And I think that Dexter's probably going to, throughout the series, start to chop them down a little bit, kill them, because they definitely all meet his code, I would say, most likely. So I'm definitely down for that. I'm definitely excited by the prospect that Dexter's going to be going after a bunch of serial killers, rather than, kind of the way that they've been doing it by the season, where they have one central villain that Dexter kind of contends with, and then by the end he eventually kills him. I like the idea that he has to go up against several of the world's most experienced or best serial killers, but still there are those aspects of it where it's like, are we getting a little too far into the secret agent shit that kind of reminds me of a little bit? Are they straining believability to a degree that's just a little bit too far? I mean, even the last shot of the trailer is like just low-key hilarious. He spins around in a chair, puts down the sunglasses like, yeah, I'm back. Like, it gives like comedy sequel. And I just feel like at this point, never bet against Dexter. I really thought that Original Sin was going to be a terrible cash grab, and I really actually dug it quite a bit. And I don't think that this new series is going to recapture some of the vibe of the original. I think the Miami setting is just too intrinsic to that to lend itself. And that's kind of what Original Sin actually has, is that Miami setting recapturing some of that vibe to the original. This is going to be a very different vibe, I think. But it seems to be a lot more vibrant. It's New York City based, rather than kind of just upstate, middle of the woods, the sticks, cold, ice, a little bit more boring. I am a bit excited to see what they do with that New York City setting, but I can't help but just still I'm a little taken aback by it. I'm also still very curious to see how they bring back the previous characters that are dead, like Trinity, Miguel Parada, and apparently Dokes too. I assume they will be some form of hallucination, some form of kind of a ghost brought back that is going to haunt Dexter. And I'm very curious about that, actually, to see how they kind of end up portraying that, because it could either be very interesting or just feel like cheap fan service. But Dexter's been running so long at this point that it literally is becoming cinematic universe-y. We're getting onto the 4th Dexter show that we have so far. So I would assume that if you're in it for the long haul, and these shows do really damn well, actually. So I guess we'll just kind of have to see where it takes things. But I do think it needs to thread the needle. I think it needs to not go too far and lose the heart of what Dexter is. And that's just kind of some of my concern with this tone, is that it will go too far, that it will lose what Dexter intrinsically is. But overall, I'm obviously in it no matter what. I love Dexter. He's one of my favorite characters. Dexter's probably my favorite show. So whatever they're going to give, I'm going to be the slot master and just eat it up no matter what. But I'm curious to hear what you guys think. Do you think that the Dexter Resurrection tone goes too far? Are you excited for it? I'm excited to hear. I'm GM Light. Have a good one.